أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين. لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين. صدق الله العظيم. Inshallah, I will speak about Tajweed that has to do with Surah Al-Tin in English, inshallah. Allah says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. When you are reciting Bismillah, Bismillahir Rah, you have to look at Ha. This is the small letter of Ha. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then you will be looking at Ra'un, how to pronounce Ra'un. Ra. Don't say Ra. 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 Don't say Ra. Bismillahir Ra is a mistake. The professional one is that Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rahim. This is Madda. We call this Madda Maddul Arabi Lisukun. Then we will inshallah recite the first verse. The first verse is saying that Wattini was Zaytun. Then you will look at Zai, Harfu Zai, the Zai alphabet. If you are to read Zai alphabet the way it's supposed to be, is for you to say Wattini was Zaytun. Then the next verse is that Waturi. Don't say Waturi. That one is a mistake. If you recite Waturi, Waturi, don't say Waturi. Waturi Sinin, Sinin. Then the next one is that Wahada, the. This one is Dhalun. If you want to pronounce this one, you will do like this. The. Wahada al-baladil amin. Amin. This is Madda. This Madda is called Maddul Arabi Lisukun. And you have option to have that Madda into three ways. The first one is وَهَذَا الْبَلَدِ الْأَمِينَ. You have to elongate that Madda into 6. Then you have the option to elongate it into 4. You have you also have right to elongate it into 2. وَهَذَا الْبَلَدِ الْأَمِينَ. وَهَذَا الْبَلَدِ الْأَمِينَ. وَهَذَا الْبَلَدِ الْأَمِينَ. Then the next one is that laqad. We have qalqala in this verse. If you look at dalun, laqad, dalun. Dalun has qalqala. The way you recite qalqala is like this. Laqad. Then there is harful kha, the kha alphabet. If you want to recite the kha alphabet the way it's supposed to be, is for you to recite it like this. Laqad khalaqna, laqad kha. Don't say laqad ka. Laqad ka is unprofessional. It's not good. If you want to recite it accordingly, is for you to recite it like this. Kha. Then we have ka. But this place, if you look at it critically, it is not careful. We have kafun, we have a kha'un, but this one is kha'un. If you want to recite kha'un the way it's supposed to be, is for you to recite it like this. Laqad kha. Don't say laqad ka. Laqad ka is mistake. Laqad kha is the one that's supposed to be there. Laqad khalaqa. Then this kafun has qalqala. Laqad khalaqa. The qalqala means you cannot recite the qalqala like fatha, kasra or dhamma. Is a neutral in between these three. Laqad khalaqa. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ This al-in, we call this one gunna. And the what is supposed to be there is ikhfa. Is ikhfa. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا If you have wherever you see ikhfa, is for you to recite it with gunna. And the way you recite gunna is for you to stay for like counting 1, 2. For you to count 1, 2, that means you have gunna. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي. Then there is mad. We call this mad maddul jaiz al-munfasil, and you have option to recite this mad into 2. If you like, into 3. Sorry. If you like, you can recite it with 2 maddi. 2 maddi is for like you to read it by counting 1, 2. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي. We call this type of recitation بِغَيْرِ جَائِز. In the absence of jaiz, you can recite it without madda. But when you are reciting Quran with maddul jaiz, you are to elongate it for like 4 or 5. But if you doesn't recite with jaiz, you are to recite it with 2 maddi. The maddi, you can count 1, 2. If we say that you can elongate it into 4 or 5, you can count 5 things in with your hand like this. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ في. If it is 4, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي, by counting 4, that means you recite it correctly. Then if you want to recite a fa, or if you want to pronounce fa the way it's supposed to be, is for you to say fi. Don't say p. In English alphabet, we have F, then we have P. In Arabic, we don't have a P. It is only F we have. Then we call it fa'un in Arabic alphabet. And if you want to pronounce it the way it's supposed to be, is for you to recite it like this. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ fi. Don't say P. P is a mistake. If you want to recite it or pronounce it the way it's supposed to be, it is for you to recite it like this. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي. Then there is a ha. Then we call it ha us-sughra. That is small letter of ha. If you want to recite or pronounce small letter of ha the way it's supposed to be, is for you to recite like this. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي Don't say There is another one which is the capital letter of ha in Arabic alphabet. We'll come to that one and we'll tell you how to read it or recite it or to pronounce it the way it's supposed to be. But this one, you have to recite it like this. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أحسن تقو. We call this qalqala. Taqween. But this last maddi, you can elongate it for like 2, 4, or 6 by counting 2, and it is an optional as we said earlier. You can elongate it for like 2 maddi. You can elongate it for like 4. You can elongate it for like 6, like this. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ 1, 2. If you want to elongate it to reach 4, فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. But if it is 6, you can count 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means you elongate maddi into 6. Then the next verse is that لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ ثُمَّ. In this case, we have sinun. There is first alphabet. If you look at it, it has 3 dots. It has 3 dots. That one we call it tha'un. Summa. Don't say summa. If you want to speak it or pronounce it the way it's supposed to be, you can say summa, summa. Then there is ra'un fatha. If you have ra'un fatha, then you are going to have tafkhim. We call this tafkhim ra. We call this tafkhim ra. If ra has fatha or dhamma, or the alphabet that is immediately before the ra'un has fatha or dhamma, you can have tafkhim into ra directly. If you want to recite ra, then you look at the wasl. If the wasl is a fatha or dhamma, you are going to have a tafkhim ra, 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 summa ra, summa ra. Don't say or don't speak summa ra. Ra is a mistake. If you want to recite it fluently, you are to recite it like this with a tafkhim. Summa radadnahu radadi. Then we have two dal in this case. The first one has fatha. Then the next one has a qalqala. Summa radadi radadi radadi. Summa radadnahu asfala safilin asfala. We teach you the way you are going to recite fa or to pronounce fa. Don't say aspala sapilin. Aspala sapilin is totally a mistake. While if you recite it like this, asfala safilin, that one is a very good one. It's a very nice one. Then the next thing that we will look at it here is that don't say summa radadnahu asfala safilin. There are some people that don't know how to recite Quran fluently. You can hear them reciting asfala sa. Asfala sa is a mistake. Asfala safilin. Asfala safilin. Illa alladhina amanu. Ladhina. Don't say lazina. Illa alladhina amanu wa. This one is ainun. Wa amilu sa. This one is also sadun. Wa amilu saliha ha. This one is a small letter of ha. Wa amilu salihati fa. Don't say pa. Falahum ajrun ghayru. Don't say gayru. Even this harf, it has a tafkhim. We have 7 huruf or 7 alphabets that has tafkhim. Ghayru mamnun. Ghayru. Don't say gayru directly. Ghayru mamnun. Then the next one, fama. Don't say pama. Fama yukadhibuka. Don't say yukazzibuka. This one is a dhalun. Fama yukadhibuka ba. Then you look at a ainun. Ba'du biddin. This one is also Batul Arid in this school, and we already taught you how to recite it very well. Fama yukadhibuka ba'du biddin. Then the last one is alaysa Allah. Alaysa Allah. We call this one tafkhimu ismul jalala. This one we call it tafkhimu ismul jalala. You are going to respect the name of Allah by having tafkhim or by pronouncing it with a tafkhim. Alaysa Allahu. Don't say alaysa Allahu. It's not like that. Alaysa Allahu bi ahkamil hakimin. Sadaqallahu al-azim. Thank you very much.